Welcome back. We have not done a video in a while. I had some reasons to it. But as promised, let's go to the dwarves. Tips and tricks for dwarves. The first thing that is most important about dwarves is what they want to do best. Get grudges. They are petty. Very petty. So, with the whole dwarf thing, is that you can see people having grudges. The more grudges they have, the more you want to fight them. Get as much grudges as possible to later get grudge settler units. There's not a whole lot of them, but they are very powerful units. Example, gyrocopters with troll hammer torpedoes. These are one of the. This is single-handedly the strongest unit for the whole dwarf roster. We can just have troll had hammer torpedoes that just have very high AoE damage, and yeah, it's just really good with bombs as well, and it flies. Um, so how do you play the dwarves? Well, you have to play aggressive. You have to think about this in different ways. You want to get a lot of Book of Grudges, and you want to be able to raise up to good, very defensible settlements. So what do I mean by that? Well, you get really strong late game buildings, like 600, but construction cost is way less. Or more Earth Gold, which in my opinion, if you want to choose between these two, um, I'd say this in the early game and then get to reduce the construction to get this later. For the Oath Gold is gonna be useful later, we're gonna get to that. Then you get the Deeps as the dwarves. These basically means that you get this huge extra settlement below. You basically built up an additional um, stronghold to get better garrison, stronger, yeah, just stronger defenses and other stuff. Maybe you can get extra heroes and such. The military tree is very simple. So what you want to do with them is to be able to get as much territory as possible while being able to defend well. But not in battle. In battle, dwarves are the most defensible army possible. You might see this and you'll be like, well, I only have 2 archers and some bombers. I should probably go to the offense. No, you defend your range units as much as possible. In this starting army, they do have some archers. They won't really deal much damage on the gyro bombers because armor and they have barely any armor piercing, but you kind of want to keep them safe because of their low HP. And your quarrelers are amazing. Just, their stats are really good. Look at this, 6 armor piercing for very early game units. It's pretty good. Not as good as like Dark Shards with shooting, but they have a lot of ammo, good shots with damage, good range, and well, not the best range, but good range, and they also are very accurate, and they have lots of armor. Your entire army has good armor. Now, what does Thorgrim want to focus on? First of all, it's the grudge system. He loves the grudge units. How do I know this? Well, first of all, he also wants you to have more king degrees, which is the focus on the deep mechanic. So he focuses on those 2 things. He gets more feints, long beards, which is fine. Research and some more heroes. Oath golds, which is nice, and more heroes. So yeah, he gets a lot all of the heroes, a little better. But here's the thing: High King, Age of Reckoning, Grudge Settler army size, but +5. So normally, you can only have up to 3 of these. Although I guess these 2 doesn't count at the beginning. So technically if you keep them alive, you could have 10. But yeah, basically you can get way more of these than anyone else can. Like maximum in like any other dwarfs, they only get like 3 gyrocopters or something like that. You could have 8. And those are the most powerful units you can get. Reminder, at least in my opinion. Um, so you do that, and you get a lot of bonuses with fighting. Oh, you fight something with a lot more grudges? Well, unbreakable for your whole army. Oh, what's that? You get perfect vigor for your whole army. And you get 20% extra movement speed whenever you win a battle, which is really good. You became a little corny like that. And then of course you have the grudges here, which is, hey, you get extra stats for fighting X faction. I mean, in my opinion, if you're gonna go with any one of these early, it's gotta be the against the foul, because you gotta fight Skarsnik. You gotta fight Scorebad and Ogres, which is all free, so. Um, but you don't only want to do those 2 things with Forgrim. You always will have the Great Book of Grudges mechanic. This does certain things. Example, if you have finished to retake the realms, you can now begin to teleport across the map, and you get a lot of grudges for it. If you just go kill elves, which pretty based of you, you get a special landmark building involves anvil and more stuff. So you have these things against certain factions. Like here you have it against different ones that says to you, hey, go south. And then you have the Skaven as well, which gives you like a minor summons with blasting shards, which is pretty good. We have Chaos Dwarves and some greenskins, high wood elves, sorry, uh, and so on and so forth. You have all of this stuff. Uh, then with grudges, you can not only just use them for different things we're gonna, or well, let's just say this: you can use these grudges to confederate any of the legendary lords, even if they are dead and lost from the campaign. You can still confederate and get them in. The thing is, the more settlements they have, the more it takes for you to confederate. However, if you play correctly, this should not be an issue. Because how the grudges work is that if a faction you fight has more fights against dwarves or do something wrong against dwarves or becomes bigger, you get grudge points. So let's say if this army would have fought you 3 times, um, over, it would increase over and over again. You see? Because they have faction actions, they declare war, they're trespassing, and they're green skins. Because of that, we get 81. Here, faction action, key dwarf settlement, and green skin actions. So it goes on like that. And you get stronger and stronger, and then there will be other things that comes up. So, yeah. Then you have the Oath Gold, which is up here. I mean, I have not unlocked it because I've not gotten enough, because you need 200. But it's basically like the Tomb King's create system, where you just create things from the mortuary cults. Same thing. So that's how you play as Forgrim. However, what do I recommend? Oh, I recommend going to take Pillars of Grungi, get a second Lord. If you have DLCs and such, get a Rune Lord. And try to get him up to have Rune Wrath and Ruin. up here. You take more troops. You will be able to create Dwarf Warriors of Blasting Charges. I will recommend 2 Blasting Charges because we're gonna fight a lot of goblins soon. Uh, you take this, you go over here, and then you recruit once again. Then you wanna move up here, and you need to fight Scarsnake. He is gonna have the number games, and this is why we go for Blasting Charges, is because Blasting Charges have a AoE bomb attack in the beginning, and that will help you. The thing is, taking over this real quick, and maybe you take over Grom's Peak and the Fallen King's Mountain, depending on the situation, you will have Gorbad at your ass instantly. He will just fight here, then he will fight here. Once the Barakvar is gone, he will move to you. So it's important to do this quite quick. Um, so it's going to be a difficult battle. You're gonna have, against Garstik, he's gonna have his Arak Rock Spider. So basically what I recommend, shoot it with this, and shoot with the 2 Quarrelers. Then the Blasting Shards will shoot down the goblins, and if you have Wrath and Ruin on your other lord, he will be able to do some good AoE damage. Thorgrim himself is a melee beast that can snipe lords as well, because he can just reduce melee defense on someone, and I mean 52-62 is amazing stats for a lord. And you have an engineer to buff up your early units as well to get break open the casks, to get restocks, um, more of them because you already have a lot of them. You just continue to upgrade your army, and you can get then an army ability. You will not get this when you're fighting Scarsnick himself in due time, because if I believe I'm right, yeah, you need 4 skill points. 1, 2, 3. Maybe you'll get it if you know how to use him well in the fight. So yeah, just go here, fight. Prepare yourself for the south battle and maybe to the western front for Skarag, because he does not like you either. Then always beware here. You will fight Skaven and other things. Basically, as dwarves, you will be attacked from all sides, but you have the tools to deal with it. Except, like, I would say, after you have taken, like, here, and when Azag is gone, you're pretty safe here. The only thing if Vlad is gonna be a problem or not, the Empire usually deal with him, so it should not be an issue. Anyways, going on to the next one. Let's go to Ungrim Ironfist, the Slayer King himself. So, one thing to keep in mind, he used to be horrible to play. I say used to because he got better with the Thrones of Decay. Ungrim's main thing is Slayers. He buffs them by construction building for them, cost and recruiting cost for Slayers, for all Slayers, and more speed for all infantry. It feels like you're supposed to just go Slayers and bonk people, and that's what essentially you will do because of his skills. That's just for himself. So himself. There you go. More bonus for his large for all Slayers and himself. Ward saves for fighting chaos. Um, some more replenishments for them. Then Slayer King, giving them Journey Ends upgrade, which is just basically an upgrade on a certain skill. I don't remember exactly, but he will have this as the main thing to buff. More weapon strength, missile strength for the Slayer Pirates and the Goblin Hewer, which yeah, they are a unit from Thrones of Decay. Missile resistance for all of them, which is needed. and casualty replenishment range and upkeep. And then of course you can go for Grimness Air to get uh, a lot more buffs. Uh, so yeah, the thing is with him, the whole campaign, is that you just want to create Slayers. Slayers are good in technicalities. However, the thing is, as soon as they fight anything that has a lot of armor or a lot of um, archers, they cry a little. So you will have a rough time. However, because of the DLC, you get a lot of new units to play with. Because usually it was just, well, like 2 units he buffed. First of all, the Goblin Hero is a decently artillery piece that is just, hey, anything that is like big and slow comes to me, I will just slaughter it instantly, which is fine. It also has Slayer units, so you know, decent. They are decently fast for being an artillery piece, so that's good. Then you get all the things. Dragon Slayers is hero, pretty decent. Slayers, which is the normal ones you would have normally. Slayer Pirates, which, hey, they actually have armor-piercing missiles, which is nice. Goblin Hewers you can also get here. Doom Seekers, which is also a DLC unit, but anti-infantry. And then you have Giant Slayers, which is, well, armor-piercing Slayers. So beforehand it was just these 2 units. They added 1, 2, 3, basically 4 things you can, 5 things in your army, because you can have a Demon Slayer as well. So you have a lot more Slayers running around.
Mic off. Mic on.
So you have to be able to run with a lot of Slayers. Now Slayers are good because of multiple reasons in your starting location. Your main enemies in starts does not have a lot of missiles. Sure, they will have maybe a Goblin Archer or maybe an Orc Arrow Boys once, but that's fine. Usually you can just shoot them away with other things, because you do have 2 Quarrelers, Thunderers, and Iron Drakes. To a contrast to Forgrim's start, where he had a lot more melee and very little range, Forgrim wants to have more damage. So he has more Quarrelers. They're also faster, because they counter his infantry. So you will able to. You also start with, you know, Rune Smith, so we'll begin to have basically good spells. They're not basically like normal stuff. They don't have a spell lore. It's instead you may use one of the runes at one time, and then it needs a recharge, coming back up later. Um, so yeah, they're pretty good to have multiple of in an army, if possible, especially if you like to have ranged armies. But yeah, that's what Angrim want to do. He wants Slayers. Now, what do you do in the start location? Well, you have to take care of these greenskins. You usually go for Grom's Peak and Fallen King's mountain here. So you take this, you usually recruit some troops, which you can recruit some Slayer Pirates, which is what I would recommend, because you have some extra shots and some pretty decent melee. Like, what's the difference here with melee? Literally, this one is better, because they have the same melee stats. So go for the Slayer Pirates. Unless they have different weapon strength. Okay, yeah, so these guys have worse melee damage, but that should be fine. You just go for 2 Slayer Pirates after you take this. You teleport down here with tunneling stance, and you go fight here. You should be able to do that without any issues. If you are insecure about having that fight, I would recommend you to just move here, recruit, and then move down to attack. And then you go for Grom's Peak. Watch out for Skarsnik. And watch out for this guy here. Because, first of all, your main enemy is going to be Azag. And your second enemy can be Skarsnik. Skarsnik will always rush down because Daya is coded to go take their main starting province. So it will run down there. Then, there's always possibility for Vlad. The thing is, you actually have a grudge against him. You actually get a really good item. At least when you're fighting, undead. So it is beneficial later to attack Sylvania, which is what you're going to have to do. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about Ungrim. Big Bonk. Ungrim himself is a beast. Because compared to all the other Slayers, he has armor. And, well, he's also unbreakable, so he just doesn't die. And Slayers cannot reduce their weapons strength, yeah, that's right. But yeah, Ungrim, really strong in general as a combatant. Maybe Draika will be an enemy, and then it's just Chaos Dwarf shenanigans on your right side. But really, it is, as soon as you're secured here, your north will be secured until our ball comes down here. Or when you're secured here, you should be safe until... Because I believe Forgrim loses 80% of the time here, so you might need to help him. That is what I've seen. Now going off to the next one. And we have Clan Angrund. The one that people do not like. Well, people like playing him, it's just he is not easy to play. So the thing is with Belikar is he has a huge negative. Everything costs 50% more until you get Carrot Cake Peaks. How far is it? Well, it's just over there, silly. Just get over there. So it's usually a rush race. You don't want to fight other things, but you kinda have to. So what do I mean by that? Well, Belgor has his starting enemy as some orcs. They will die easily. Whatever. You will have a decent enough start here. As soon as you... It's not that bad, because as soon as you're taking this, you will get a confederation with Karakiran. So it will be here in the start. Negative is, hey, these bastards tend to attack me every time I'm here.
Mic off. Mic on.
And then we have Scrag as well as an enemy. A big one. We have Pirates of Sartosa, so that's a range-based faction. And then we have Clan Scryer. Positive, you have 4 extremely powerful heroes. You have 1 good engineer, start to level 5, a level 5 runesmith, and 2 level 5 Thanes. They are ethereal, so they have a lot of physical resistance. They have less HP though. They have magical attacks, frostbite, and good stats overall. They are also immortal, so if they lose in the battle, they will come back, so don't worry. So basically, you start with all those 4, so you have a good army of 13 troops. You have hammerers, you have 3 dwarf warriors, so you have a pretty stout lines. Of course, 2 miners, because mandatory, I guess, to have miners in every army. Rangers to be able to just shoot, and Rangers are actually really good. They're one of my favorite units. They're just fast, Vanguard deploy stalking units that actually can set up ambushes, so use that as you want. You will start taking off to Karak Bifdor. You're gonna have another big fight at Karak Izor. After you have taken all your starting settlements, you will get a free confederation. Now the thing is, that's absolutely you want, because he has a grudge thrower, and he has a lot of other things. You will also get a key at Dwarf Settlement, which is nice. Um, and you will get these, and you will be incentivized later to attack here, which you will need to do anyway. However, Clan Scryer can be volatile. He can attack you whenever he feels like it, and he will definitely attack here first. Then you will have some pirates to deal with. I mean, they're not as bad in my opinion. They have annoying range units, but I mean, beside that, I think you should be fine fighting them. And you could not do like the Forgrim trick where you just can get a second army or another lord out easily because everything is so expensive. For having such a low cost army beside the hammerers, like the hammerers cost 450 per turn. Dwarf warriors 170. 197 for rangers. It's insane. Miners 122. So after you take this, you want to be able to recruit some dwarf warriors, I would say, with either great weapons or normal ones. Uh, then when you get up here, you would want to, yeah, you get up here, you take that, you move up, you will recruit another time with dwarf warriors. And such, you can even go to recruit some thunderers soon, because you can get this. And then you will get, essentially, when you take this down, you will get a free army. That it comes down here, he will trade all the units that you have, the good units, and you take away all the miners and such because you don't like miners. You get that. You have a 20-man stack army. You can now move to assassinate him to take off that off the list. But in my opinion, you always want to go here and be able to defend against what's coming here. Once this is dealt with, you begin to move to here, help Barakvar, dealing with help Barakvar and help Forgrim to take out Mr. Gorbad. Then you go down to Caligate Peaks. It's not gonna be easy journey, and it's not meant to be easy. Thank fuck that Warzag is gone, because he was a nightmare to deal with as your faction. But yes, that's Belagar. I don't think there's anything else to add. Just be aware that everything costs a lot more, so economy buildings are way more useful for you than normal. Uh, but you definitely want to go growth spam as every other factions to just get your strong units. Then you want economics after. But yeah. Going off to the next one. Alright, Grombrindle is next.
How can I help?
Grombrindle is also a different cake. He's not that difficult from the others, Belagar in my opinion. However, he has another difficulty spike he has to deal with, and he has a different mechanic. The Living Ancestors. In 2 turns, he gets a very powerful buff that says usually say, hey, buff your army, buff yourself, get a strong like boost for your settlements or recruitments. Which is really nice. The thing is with him is that he loves killing elves, which is kind of based, as we all know.
This here one, I'll do it.
He starts with a decent army with Iron Drakes, Quarrelers, Thunderers, and guard conflicts with Flamers. The thing is, you fight all of Skaven early. And why is this campaign gonna be kind of difficult? Well, you see, there is a guy over here. Yeah, let's just say it's not easy to fight Malekith. He is strong. The thing is, what usually happens is that there's always a 50-50 fight here going on. And now I know they said like, hey, we're gonna fix the AI and such next week, but if you play this week, also be aware for yourself. The Tomb King's AI is broken. They will just take their first settlement, and then they're just gonna sit there and do nothing. Um, and they're not gonna recruit or anything, so the orcs are just gonna be able to clap back. So you have a potential enemy down there. But yeah, you have to fight some Skaven, which is easy enough because they just have some Skaven slave slingers and Skaven slaves and clan rats, whatever. Nothing to scoff at. It's just easy to deal with. Then you have Valkia. So basically what usually happens is that you and Malekith always meet around here. At Rakdu Gorge. And Chakotay Mount. Because he's usually, it's either there or here. Ultimate of Ultimate Darkness. Um, and the thing is, Valkia is up here. She will go down here. And once you're pushing in, Valkia is at here at this point as well, wanting to fight you. So the difficulty spike is here in the early game, but once you have defeated these two without any issues, you're fine. Like, yeah, you have Taurox here, but he usually dukes it out with the other ones here. Mother's Tank, yeah, is your only potential ally, if she's alive. Otherwise, you have to fight Morafi later. Sigvald is up here. Yeah, I mean, you only have one ally, and then afterwards, if you go south, you might have potential allies with the Lizardmen, which is also broken at the moment, so very unlikely. Um, yeah, I mean, just be aware, Dark Elves have some really good range units, because all of them have full armor piercing, except hand crossbows from the Corsairs. But yeah, don't worry, you will be fine by killing this Skaven, getting yourself a decent army, because right now you can recruit the OGs. Although, against Dark Elves, you want shields. Get the shields. If he's gonna have the armor piercing things, have shields. And I mean, when you reach up here, you will get your own range units by this point. Yeah, Quarrelers, and also get Grufane, because it's just for free. It's almost tempting to just go for this and then have this in the last one. But let me tell you, just go for the growth building here in the start. So you can get up the proper units. The Thunders are not that great against Dark Elves anyways. Like, yeah, Dark Elves is technically a viable target because, hey, high armor and, or decent armored but very low squishy, and they die very easily. But the thing is, Thunderers is, well, range things. They will, you need to position them. And if you're good with positioning with guns, go ahead. I suck at it. I usually just go Quarrelers. But if you're good with it, sure. Go ahead. Get the Arms Forge. I don't mind. If you want to prove me wrong, go ahead. Anyways, he's not that hard. That's what he does. Moving on to the next. Going on to Forek Ironbrow. One of my personal favorites, Dwarf Lords. I will get into what he does soon. First is just the beginning of your campaign. You're surrounded by things that will hate you. You'll need to declare war on the Lizardmen. You have Skaven to the right here. You have Tomb Kings up here that will also hate you. You have vampires that hate you. The only thing that will begin to like you is if Volkmar wins or Wapons wins over here. Wapons usually wins, but yeah. And then you will have a big threat until next week. So what happens in these campaigns? Well, you have to fight up here. Then you have to get over here. You tend to always fight, not Neferata, but sorry, Khalida. She just says Neferata over and over again. We usually fight her here. That should be fine. She has Bone Giant now. However, she is broken, so she might just die by the vampires. In that case, you just kill vampires. They're easy. Um, Vampires are never much of a problem for a dwarf. In campaigns, at least. Battles is a different thing. But yeah. then you want to kinda either move up here to fight Queek and defend your home, or go south to root out the problems, because there's gonna be Kairos and where's that going big here? So those are two very scary big factions. Um, because Techlist doesn't do much. Um, so yeah, you have all of these things going on. However, you have the artifact vault. You can't get it now because I can't get it now because I don't have Oath Gold. But you have probably spotted, hey, this settlement is shiny and has runes all around it. Good spotted there, my friend. If you get those, you get special items. Special runes for your army. Because you
Try
actually
to
give
test it.
runes to your army to give them stronger stuff. So you have this one, which, hey, just give it to someone more large stuff. They get the rune of stoicism and expert charge defense. That's pretty good. Then you have rune of burning, add explosive, and so on and so forth to a non-grudge settler artillery units. The thing is, though, with Thorek, is he's kind of a boomer. Yes, he used magic, kind of, but he is a kind of a boomer. What do I mean by this? Is that by his skill tree, he buffs up things that are not any guns. He does not like guns. He likes things that are artillery based, with like grudge throwers, and he likes crossbows and such, essentially. They always are the best. There we go. He gives armor piercing and armor, and then he gives everyone, every of these units more reload time. So he is pretty good with those units. And you get Quarrelers early, you get Grudge Throwers early, you should be fine. Anyway, Dwarf Warriors and then Longbeards into Iron Breakers, which you get also early, which is insane. Especially because Greenskins are really strong in early game infantry, but they are not as strong as Iron Breakers, because Iron Breakers is one of the best defensible units in the game. Um, so you will be able to defeat the Greenskins here early. Oh yeah, right, you have Scarbrand here as well, they just hate you. And because of how weak Tomb Kings will be, he will just go down there and march and destroy them. Um, but yeah, that's basically him. You just want to get a lot of things here destroyed. You barely have any allies, but he's fun because he starts off so far away from all the other dwarves, and I actually really like the Thunderdome here down in the Southlands. Then, something I also missed, technology. So it is the same for every single one. I thought I could just take this later. Clans is basically, hey, I wanna buff uh, my whole army and stuff. You know, here's some lord stuff and whatever. Here's some flanking, I guess, for some artillery, because that's fun, kinda. But yeah, you have those here. Then you have all the settlements upgrades here. Like, hey, I want more diplomatic things. Hey, I want more growth, and so on and so forth. However, there is a very powerful upgrade here somewhere. For infantry, yeah, shield wall. So shield wall is pretty good. More mass, so they are not easily charged by. More missile block chance and missile resistance. That's fine. But I believe it's somewhere. Ah, yeah, here we have them. So you give this to Iron Breakers for him specifically for the ballistic plating, which means even they block cannonballs. They don't give a shit. Yeah, dwarves are strong when you get to late game. Here's some other stuff for like, hey, Whirlwind of Death is really strong if you play as Ungrim, and so on and so forth. Like, you have all the things here. Well, that's Forek. Boomer, really strong. Melee combatant
Always our
and
best.
spellcaster because he is a rune lord. He's the best rune lord you can have because he actually upgrades them normally with fire temper. Yeah, it's insane. Anvil of Doom is also really strong because if you get that and these, he just becomes way stronger. So he is really strong on the battlefield. Uh, so yeah, we're going to the next one.
Shit, that'll make you into
Well,
a snowman.
now to everyone's favorite boy, Malachi Makaisen.
Malachi McKayson.
I can fully understand why people like him. He's not my personal favorite from all the
Cozy
dwarves,
Underground.
but he is fun and he's the most unique of them. So, what is Malachi? Malachi is focusing a lot on engineering stuff. Um, he's also an engineer slayer, which is interesting. So he buffs kind of both. Um, more engineer stuff, slayer buffs, artillery buffs, artillery just better things and deranged munitions as well. And he's just very strong. Not only that, you start with
Oh,
Gotrek
aye.
and Felix, which is insane because they are a pretty hard battle to win to get
For
those two.
Karak canter
They're not
into
an
the
easy
warm
battle
pub.
unless you have good speed units. Then, not only that, you
The
also get
past
the
is the
strongest
past.
units for yourself as a summon. Yeah, Thunderbarge, she just summon any
A wee
fight.
nip to
And
walk
he is
myself.
also, you know, you can upgrade it to get better buffs on it.
Oh, shit, that'll make you into a
And yes,
snowman.
you build things here as well. Yay, here you go, upkeep cost, recruitment cost, experience, uh, recruitment capacity, upgrades, random bullshit attacks, growth, any kind of recruitment. Oh, yes. Just make your own Thunder Barges inside of your Thunder Barge. Don't you love it? Um, but yeah. He is one of the most fun for a lot of people because it's not all about
Yes,
his
it's cozier underground.
really strong
Alright,
combat capabilities with the Spirits of Grungi, having the two most powerful legendary
for Karak
heroes.
canter into the
You
warm pub.
also have Malkai's Adventures, which I don't have now right now, but it basically says, hey, go out to do these quests, like kill a bunch of elves. It's like, hey, kill some elves and do some other things. And there you go. Now your cannons are having grape shots, which is insane. So yeah, Malcolm Kaizen has really insane mechanics, and he doesn't do the best of buffs in my opinion normally, but because he has basically a portable city with him all the time, he also have his
A wee
start
nip
with two
to walk
legendary
myself.
lords. Any the thing is, right? You have a really
Shit,
hard starting
that'll make you into a snowman.
point, but you have the tools to deal with it. You have Chaos Dwarves that comes from here. You have Arbol that comes from here. You have Archeon, Epidemius, and even everything else like Daniel, Prince Sigvald later on, and so on and so forth. And then the whole of Norska itself. That should not be an issue for you. You can deal with that easily. As, yeah, you're not scared for shit. There's a reason why you fight
I
a fucking
follow the
great unclean
grandfather.
one in the first fucking fight. You have fucking Gotrek.
Slayer.
If you don't know Gotrek, he is just a beast. He has one of the. He's just, hey, I, I'm a Slayer, but what if we made a Slayer overpowered to shit? That's what he is. Overpowered. Hey, more items, more money. When attacking, more attack. Hit points, wound recovery to like basically zero. Perfect vigor, which is one of the best thing. Godric's Doom. You could just say, hey, I want to just slay anything. So you could just say, hey, he's a zombie slayer now, so he gives the whole army a buff. Because it's not only him, it's the whole army. Like, hey, Skaven Slayer. Okay, whenever we're in Subterranean Intercept battle, we get more leadership, we get more ambush defense chance, which is amazing. Slippery, which is amazing. Uh, Demon Slayer, hey, I'm fighting a lot of demons and chaos stuff. You will, so don't worry. Spell resistance for your army, which dwarves already have a natural one. True corruption in armor. The thing is with Gotrek, or with Malachi, is you can also get Ulrika Magdova, uh, which is another legendary lord or legendary hero, and then you can get uh, Angrimsam. I forgot his name, but it's another big slayer that focuses on killing infantry. So you can get 4 legendary heroes in one army, and they are very strong. So you get a really good point where you just kill everything and anyone. Um, Pretty early as well, because it's easy to get Ulrika. It's just, hey, build a building and get money. It's just, hey, get to like this point, and hey, amass 15,000, which is easy to do in battle and such, right? He doesn't have anything special in technology tree and such. Everyone has a different grudge, but yeah, he is one of the strongest uh, legendary lords in the game. And whenever you fight him as any faction, you cry a little bit on the inside. The only one that has a chance is Frog's early game, because you just attack and attack so quick as possible, so he doesn't have his Spirit of Grimgi. Because your starting army, the main point of it is the cannon, Gyrocopter, and your true heroes and the Doomseekers. Malachi himself is not the best fighter. He's decent at fighting and he's decent at shooting. The Mindless Blasting Shards are decent. The Thunders are good. Doomseekers are good. Then these two are amazing. But yeah, what you want to do in his campaign is take out these, prepare yourself for 2 armies. It's gonna be preparing yourself for Chaos Dwarves and preparing yourself for all the Norskins and the Chaos factions. So it's taking down this, and then a secret enemy, which is his client Mulder. Take down this, help Kislev with Mulder, and help out with Azazel. After, you will have Frog to help. He's going to attack you, which you have to just deal with, kill. It shouldn't be that difficult. So you take down this, and then you just expand up here. And there should be one of your adventures that say you get bonuses for killing Norskins and chaos stuff. So you just go for that one. Then it's gonna be up here north, and just prepare yourself for all the attacks here. It's pretty simple while doing so. Skills and such I recommend is going with Axe Lord, then going with Tradition and Innovation, because you kinda want a lot of gyrocopters as him. That's one of the units people really like to bring. Because they technically are artillery sometimes, I believe. No flying war machines. But yeah, they are really strong. Usually people go with some of the grudge copters with like 2 or 3 artillery, and the rest is just a very strong staunch front line with like 3 thunder barges. That's like a really strong army for him. But yeah, um, that's basically Malachi. It's basically the dwarves. They are pretty simple to play, in my opinion. The only thing is the Age of Reckoning is forcing you to play aggressive, and you have to kill stuff all the time to get stronger units and positive stuff. Like, hey, look at this. But it is not easy to get there sometimes. Sometimes it can just be a bitch and you just sit there and do nothing. And it's sometimes hard to read how much you need to get each time this happens. Because this happens every like 15 turns. Yeah, 15 turns. And it just gets angry at you if it doesn't get it enough. You just have to get more and more. And you will never satisfy it. However, that is it for today. I wish you all a good day. And I'll see you in the next one with, um, yeah, Warriors of Chaos. So see ya.